過ぎた季節が嘘だとしても重ねたぬくもりは嘘じゃない君が残した背中の傷跡は今もずっと甘くてだからずっと痛くて
Yo, what do you do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new chapter of Trails of Cold Steel, A Hero's Rising. Honestly, sorry it took so long for the final, part of the prologue to come out. I was mostly sitting on it for a while now. Also, I wanted to get through at least, chapter 1 and 2 of Trails of Cold Steel. So there was that as well. And I was able to do that. So now, next month on November, this will be that of a full-time series through that November, all the way to the second chapter of the game. So, with that said, let's get into a small recap. As Izuku, Rin, Elliot, and Gaius are teamed together through the underground caverns of the old school building, with Izuku showing off his fighting style with his Naginata, with Rin showing off his 8 leaves 1 blade style, Gaius with his fencing with his spear play, and Elliot with his new orbital staff, with meeting the other members of their classmates such as Elisa, Emma, Laura, Fee, and even Eustace once again. However, both Eustace and Machias got into another fight, with Machias wanting to cool his head off and splitting from the group, and Eustace temporarily joining the team. So they're finally reaching the end of the school of the catacombs. So with that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 3, Prologue, Part 3. After moving through the catacombs once more and facing against a couple of monsters once again, such as slimes and flying rat creatures, they strike him down. However, Eustace shows off more of his, skill and prowess with that of Erebonian court fencing. Not only that, he also shows that he's more adept at using arts than that of Elliot, as he soon sees another foe, but then using his Arcus, saying, "Arcus, activate!" Soon he's done casting, saying, "Golden spears!" With soon orbs of pure light soon begins to spin around before destroying the slime. But after that, soon Eustace saying, "A waste of time," as then he sheaths his sword. But then Izuku saying, "Damn, his arts are so strong." But then Elliot saying, "Yeah, I don't even think I'm even on that level yet." With then guys saying, "Quite. I never seen art control that well, especially even back in my homeland." With then Rin thinking, "Nice work, Eustace. Thanks for the help anyway." Saying, "It was no problem. Like I said, it was a waste of time after all. Now we should all keep on moving." With then Elliot saying, "Oh, right, yeah." With then they all begin sheathing their weapons once again. But then Izuku's the only one who hasn't sheathed his weapon yet, saying, "Everyone here is so, talented, so amazing. And yet, what about me? I feel like I'm possibly going to hold everyone else back." I mean, as he soon looks at his weapon, saying, "No, this is my decision and my choice. Nothing more and nothing less." Soon sheathing his Nagano, within soon, as he soon catches up with everyone else, as they soon see that of an orbital charging station With then Izuku saying, I think it's a good time we take a break here. Don't you think, guys? With soon Rin saying, Izuku's got the right idea. Why don't we should take a break? With then Elliot saying, oh, that's good. I could use one too. With then Eustace just nods, with even guys doing the same as well, as they use the orbital charging station to get their breath back and to become more energized. After a short break, they soon enter that of a long hot hallway, but soon they see that of an open area. As they walk in, Elliot soon saying, hey, are we? With then everyone looks up as they soon see that of a flight of stairs. As soon it looks like it leads out to that of a door, which shows that of a shine of light. With Izuku saying, is that the exit? With then Gaius saying, indeed we are. That definitely does seem like an exit after all. Within Rin commenting saying, I can see the sunlight coming out of it. I'm guessing we finally made it all this way. Within Eustace crossing his arms saying, this was such a waste of time. Pointless busy work if I have to say. Given the school's, well, illustrious founder after all, I was expecting that we would have more of a challenge, but nothing here categorizes as that of a threat. Within Elliot feeling somewhat surprised, saying, did we even fight against the same enemies? I feel like I'm being stretched past my limits here, man. Within Izuku saying, don't worry, Elliot. I'm also feeling at my limit too. You're not the only one. With soon Elliot saying, at least we're both in the same boat, right, Izuku? With then Izuku scratching the back of his head saying, yeah. With then bringing up the mention saying, so class 7, what's all that about? With then Rin saying, that's what I want to know. As then both Izuku and Rin begin thinking, we have people in this class that have different backgrounds, ethnicities, and cultures as well. There has to be something big behind class 7. With soon Rin realized that the very thoughts that he was saying were also being vocal outside, as Izuku began muttering about the idea of class 7, as some of his mutters actually go to that of a class built for that of a special ops. It's possibly a class that's built on that of trying to build the bridges between commoners and nobles. But then but what about the ones outside of the country, such as Gaius and himself? How would that work? With then soon Elliot having sweat drop alongside everyone else. With soon Eustace saying, should we stop him? Because this is really becoming unsettling. With then Elliot saying, we find out that he does that from time to time, actually. With then Rin shaking Izuku's shoulder saying, hey, Izuku, you can stop. It's like, huh? Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I guess I went on another muttering spree, didn't I? With then guy saying, it's no problem. Just wanted. It seems like you couldn't help but keep your thoughts to yourself. And it seems like you have to vocally express them. With then saying, yeah, it's a habit. Sorry. With then soon you saying, enough of this. We should just head out there now. With as they were about to take their step, they began hearing crumbling and cracking. With Eustace saying, what is that? Within Gaius turning around and looking up, saying, there, above us. As they all turn to Gaius' direction, they soon see the statue as it begins to crumble before it's soon having that of color and pigmentation across its body. With its tail begins to move and its chest begins to going up and down. As then soon Elliot saying, what the heck is that? But then Eustace saying, is that a gargoyle? And it's come to life? What kind of sorcery would be able to do something like that? With then Izuku saying, it can't be. There's no way. Why? How could a gargoyle statue be able to reanimate itself? Within it jumps down to to our 5, party members. With then, it soon begins to slowly creep up to them as it soon lets out a mighty roar, as it being the Stone Guardian Iglometer. With then feeling somewhat terrified, Elliot basically steps back in fear and screams. With then soon guys saying, are creatures like this common in the Empire by any chance? With then Eustace getting annoyed at Gaius' words, saying, not outside of old wise tales. And then Izuku commenting, saying, especially not during the dark. These things don't be common until the Dark Ages. With soon Rin saying, Izuku, how do you know that? Saying, just legends and what I've heard from old texts, that's all. But still, we need to take care of this thing. As he brings out his Nagina, with soon Rin falls suit, bringing out his Adachi, Elliot bringing out his orbital staff, Gaius bringing out his cross spear, and Eustace bringing out his court fencing saber. With then Rin saying, this thing is cutting off our only passageway back to the surface. Our only options left is to fight it. With then Gaius saying, understood. With Eustace saying, finally, an opponent worthy enough for my skill. With Elliot soon praying to the goddess Adios, saying, oh, Adios, help us. With soon Izuku saying, it's coming, be on guard. With then, and lets out a roar, rushing towards the others in blinding speeds. As it rushes towards Elliot first, with Elliot freaking out, with soon Izuku stepping in, blocking the attack, taking the full force of the attack with his spear, as he's soon basically knocked back, with Izuku grunting in pain from being sent flying on the ground. Within Elliot saying, Izuku, hang on, I'll heal you. With then the creature soon rushes towards Elliot and Izuku before Gaius soon uses his arts, saying, Gale Stinger! With soon sending a burst of wind pressure air towards the monster, as it soon notices Gaius before Rin actually stepped in, as he soon cuts the monster's arm, as it soon gets down onto the ground for a split second. Within, Eustace preparing an art as going, Arcus activate. With soon, as he's casting down, soon the monster notices Eustace's casting as he rushes towards the blonde nobleman, saying, damn it. With soon, Izuku finally healed up as he soon rushes towards the monster, slicing its horn off, as it soon felt a pain from having its horn cut off. With then Izuku saying, Eustace, now! Saying, don't need to tell me twice, as he releases his art, being the golden spears once more, as they begin to spin and soon crash down onto the gargoyle. With then soon it begins to fall down, within Elliot saying, did we do it? With then soon it stands back up, with Guy saying, not yet, it still has more fight in it. With then its gray pigmentation begins to go into that of a goldish yellow brown alongside that of green as well, as it soon roars into the air as it begins to fly. With then soon Elliot saying, oh, you gotta be kidding me. With then Izuku saying, best chance now, take it down with arts. Everyone, cast now. With then Rin saying, Izuku's right. As soon Rin sheaves his Itachi as he brings out his Arcus, saying, Arcus activate. With soon his casting finished, saying, fire bolt. With then sending the fiery orb towards the gargoyle, flying into the air. However, it's still flying, but then Eustace preparing once more his golden spears, as then even Elliot preparing his Arcus as well. With soon he tries his aqua bullet. But soon, Guy shoots out an airstrike. With then, Izuku's the only one who hasn't used his Arcus yet. With then, Yusa saying, Midoriya, what the hell you think you're doing? Use your Arcus now! With then, Izuku saying, With then, he'll shaking his head saying, you guys just give me an opening. I'll jump into the air and strike it down once and for all. With then, Yusa saying, what? Saying, just do it. With then, Elliot saying, if Izuku is trying to give it his all as well, maybe I should too. With then, as Elliot was about to cast, he soon cancels the casting. With then, soon, he's saying, time for you to go to sleep. As soon, he uses his craft saying, blue lullaby. With then, orbs of bubbles that look like that begin to float towards the gargoyle, hits its face and its body. As soon as the bubbles make contact, it dealt it damage. However, it soon begins to fall asleep. With then, Izuku saying, nice one, Elliot, thanks. But soon, Izuku jumping up into the air as well, as he soon prepares his craft as well, as he eternally thinks, saying, all right, don't lose control. As soon, lightning begins to spark across Izuku's body. However, the others don't notice this. With soon saying, craft, crossbow, drop! With then, Izuku jumps into the air before striking down with his Nagana down onto that of the gargoyle's back, trying to strike right towards his heart is. With then, soon, the gargoyle screams in pain as he begins to land down, crash to the ground, and that of a thud. But soon, Izuku removing his spear before jumping off, as he soon spins right beside Rin and Elliot, alongside Gaius and Eustace as well, as he still is that in a battle stance. Within, Elliot saying, nice work, Izuku. Within, Rin saying, good work. You did a good job there, Izuku. If Izuku couldn't help but feel grateful for the praise. But then soon, Eustace saying, that should end it. You did strike it down to the heart, right? From the back. With Izuku saying, yeah, I made sure of it. With soon, Guy saying, you said, Izuku, Eustace, you said that this creature was once around during the Dark Ages, right? With soon both boys basically nodding and saying, yeah. With then Guy saying, then wouldn't its anatomy be different? And given that it hasn't been around in so many years, you wouldn't know where the heart would be. With soon hearing this, both boys' eyes widening, within Rin saying, damn it, he's right. It's down, but not out yet. I can still see it's still breathing. As it soon stands back on all fours, it's breathing heavily, but even so, it still feels like it can go on for another hour or so. With then Guy saying, well, that's one hell of a second win. With then Eustace saying, I'm all about tenacity and not wanting to give up, but this thing just needs to die already. But soon, Izuku internally thinking, even with that last strike, it still won't go down. And I only used a fraction of that power. Maybe, just maybe I should. With then, soon, somebody scream out, stand back, everyone. With then, both Izuku and also Rin, who was also in thought as well, basically turn around as they soon see, as something soon flies past them, as it seemed like that of an orbital arrow. As it wasn't just one, multiple shots began sent flying towards the ancient creature. With soon, Emma soon runs up to it before sending that of small orbs of from her orbital staff towards it. Before Laura jumps in and brings down her blue greatsword down onto its side, as it stumbles back, but still standing. With then Elliot saying, Emma, Alyssa, Laura, you all made it. With then guys couldn't help but smirk, saying, you all sure have your timing. With then Alyssa saying, well, at least you all are okay, at least. With then afterwards, Emma soon apologized, saying, sorry it took so long. With then Reen commenting, saying, you're here, and that's what counts the most. With then Laura couldn't help but have that of a smirk on her face, saying, so a gargoyle, is it? I didn't expect to see one of the remnants of the Dark Ages down here. But even so, doesn't look like it's going to be going down easy after all. Within Eustace commenting, saying, indeed, it doesn't even look like we were even able to scratch it. With then Elliot saying, yeah, even with Izuku able to look like he dealt the, killing blow, it's still able to stand on its feet. With then Izuku saying, yeah, but even so, with all of us here, with then Reen saying, we'll be able to bring it down right here and now. With soon another voice coming out saying, fine, I guess I'll be able to help out too, as it being that of a deadpan and not interested tone, with everybody noticing and looking back, as it being Fee and Machias, with Machias couldn't help but comment and saying, looks like you guys started the party without me, with Izuku saying, thanks for coming, Machias, you too, Miss Fee, with then Machias preparing his orbital shotgun. With then his shotgun begins to glow, with Machias soon saying, releasing limiter. Take this! Break shot! With then soon, he sends a powerful shot from his shotgun, just basically knocking the gargoyle once more off its feet, with stumbling for a bit. With then leaving an opening for Fee to jump over its body, as she soon as flipping over it, and then preparing that of a cross slash on its back ankles, as soon it begins to feel overwhelmed and fatigued, as then it goes down on its three legs, with one still standing, with guys saying, we have an opening now, with Reen soon screaming out, go! With Izuku saying, give it everything you got, everyone! With soon, a blue light begins to shine across everybody's body. With soon, both Elliot and Emma began releasing that of their orbs from their orbital staffs. With soon, within both Reem and Alicia began coordinating their attacks and strikes. With Reem releasing tons of slashes from his 8 leaves, 1 blade technique, arc slash. With then soon Machias and Eustace coordinated their attacks as well, with as Eustace released that of an arc slash, piercing through the gargoyle's armor, with then Machias dealing more and more damage onto the monster as well, as piercing through its skin. With soon Gaius and Fee coordinate their attacks too, with Fee striking down onto the gargoyle's back, with Gaius piercing it on the side. With soon it screams out in pain and suffering. With then both Laura and Izuku basically seeing the opening for the final blow. With then Reen saying, now! With then Laura saying, this one's mine. With then Izuku saying, I'm taking it down as well. I won't sit by and do nothing. With then Laura prepares to charge up a slash from her sword, as blue energy begins to flow through the blade. With then lightning begins to channel right through Izuku's Nagina. With then both of them jump into the air, and at the same time they cut right through the neck of the gargoyle, as then the head was sent flying on the ground, with the head soon began petrifying itself, turning back into stone, and soon fades, with then the gargoyle's body also doing the same thing, and fades as well. Within Elliot stuttering, saying, It's. Within Alyssa soon saying, "We did it!" With that cheer of satisfaction and victory, everyone soon sheaths and puts away their weapons as they all meet together. With Emma soon saying, I think that's the end of it." With Guy saying, "I believe so too. Doubt we'll see that creature anytime soon." Within Elliot soon bringing up saying, "Now, what happened back there? At the end of the battle, we were..." Within Alyssa brought up saying, "Now that you mention it, I did feel like something was washing over me for a split second." With Machias bringing up saying, "It felt like each and every one of us was coated in that of a faint blue light." Within Laura saying, "I did notice something as we fought, but it probably was just a blur of combat. But for me, it felt like I could see everyone's movements precisely while in combat." But soon Izuku saying, "That's how I felt too. I felt like I could see everyone's attacks flowing perfectly in that, and then when we dealt the final blow, it felt normal. Were we all just imagining that all together?" With then Thee began saying, "I don't think it was your imagination, guys." With then Reen following up saying, "Agreed. I have a feeling that what we just experienced was..." But soon he was cut off by that of clapping, with everybody else getting their attention as well. Soon hearing a voice saying, "The biggest selling point of the Arcus units? Give this man a prize." With the clapping continuing before everybody looked up to that of the flights of stairs, with them seeing their supposed instructor, Sarah Valentine. With soon Sarah couldn't help but commenting, saying, "Looks like friendship and teamwork saved the day once again. I'm so proud of you guys." And she walks down the flight of stairs with everybody completely and utterly dumbfounded. With soon Sarah walks up to them and saying, "Well, that concludes this orienteering exercise." As she looks at everybody that's basically with everyone lined up together, with soon she's saying, "Oh, what's with all the long faces? They should all be happy by now." With then Izuku internally thinking, "Is she serious?" With soon Machias basically voicing on what's on Izuku's mind, saying, "What are we supposed to be happy about?" With then Alicia soon saying, "I have so many questions, I don't even know where to start." With then Sarah having that of a curious look on her face, saying, "Oh, so where do y'all want to start at?" With then Eustace basically raising his hand, saying, "I would like to take a stab at it." With then asking with no sarcasm, no sass, and basically somewhat irritation, saying, "What the hell is the point behind this Class 7? Within Emma adding her own opinion, saying, I believe I get that it's supposed to be that of a melding pot of individuals with a broad cross background of people." Within Laura finishing off saying, "So why were the 10 of us chosen?" Within Sarah couldn't help but say, that is a valid question. There is no simple monetary reason that you are all chosen for the list after all. But if I had to name a major factor for it, it has to be those Arcus units that you're all basically using right now." Within everybody actually having that of a surprised look on their face, with each and every one of them fetching out their Arcus units out, with soon all of them switching them up. With soon Izuku saying, "So how's that so?" With then Sarah saying, "Like I said before the exercise began, those Arcus units are basically a cooperation project between that of the Epstein Foundation and the Rhinefern Company. Just like any typical battle ornament, they'll let you use arts and cast them in battle. However, these also have that of a communication function built right into it. However, their crowning feature and what makes them so special is that of an ability known as combat linking. That was the blue light phenomenon that you all experienced just now. Then Elisa saying, so that's what that was. With then Elliot bringing up saying, that's a pretty apt turn. It did feel like we were all connected somehow. With Sarah soon cheerfully bringing up saying, exactly. Doesn't take a genius to imagine on how much an advantage that would be on the battlefield. With then Sarah basically giving out a huge, pitch about the Arcus units and its combat league. Just imagine it, an elite combat unit that can sense each other in complete synchronization, that even no matter on how chaotic the battlefield or combat situation that they're in, you can hardly put a price on that, you know? It could revolutionize on how wars are fought in today's age and in the future. Within Laura, thinking about it, saying, it does sound quite, within Fee cutting her off saying, idealistic. With then Izuku saying, even so, with then saying, even if it's just idealistic, and even if it's a new brand of technology, it's something that's quite amazing. Even developing it as just that of prototypes is amazing enough. And how much it could revolutionize combat and being able to and say that you can protect one's comrades and save them from anything that could happen. What you got to admit that it does seem quite revolutionary. With then everybody looking at Izuku, with then Rin saying, I have to say, it does sound quite good, and I can tell that that both the Epstein Foundation and the Reinford Company did put a lot of hard work for it. However, it took us forever to actually be able to access the combat links until the very end. Could you explain that, instructor? With then Sarah saying, yeah, I guess you would bring that up. Well, for example, besides the technology being new and all of you just getting to know each other after all, it has its limits after all. You all had to put in the work for it. Not only that, the most greatest issues is that aptitude for it. Some have it and some just don't. And out of this year's fresh batch of new recruits and students here, the 10 of you have the highest aptitude out of everybody. And since class 7 is a class built on aptitude instead of background, well, and finishing off in a deadpan tone saying, here you are. But then Izuku thinking, saying, why hype it up so much and then just basically make it seem like it's not even a big deal? With Izuku having a skeptic look on his face, with soon guys saying, I see, so that's how it all works. But then Makia's commenting, saying, but what gives us this aptitude over all of our peers here at Thor's? It just seems all random. With then Sarah basically, crossing her arms over her ample bust, with then saying, what indeed? Now, I will not force you to, join class 7. If you wish to withdraw if you want, then you have. But if you do not, then hold your peace. With then it being quite quiet, with everybody thinking and somewhat shocked, surprised, and quite overwhelmed with the reasons on why they're all part of class 7. With then soon Sarah saying, I think that all explains the whys and hows of your situation here at Thor's. But this program isn't cheap to run here at Thor's as well. If we're not going to be forcing any of you to be here if you don't want to. Also, just letting you all know this now, Class 7's, curriculum is a lot more tougher than what you would see in any of the other classes. Just giving you all a fair warning. So, now you know, and I think you all have the right to make an important decision here. Will you stay in Class 7 or not? With then everybody feeling somewhat nervous, also looking at each other, thinking about the situation, with soon Izuku was about to raise his hand, with then Sarah saying, before I forget, even if you drop out of this class, you'll still be put back in the class which you would be originally in. So no pressure here. Just as it's always been, nobles will be in class 1 and 2, and commoners will be in class 3, 4, and 5. Remember, it's still the first day, so you don't have to do any catching up or anything to do. So you'll all be fine as where you are. With soon, both Izuku and Rin both think deeply, with Rin having that of a past memory, and with Izuku having the same past memory. However, his past memory is that of feeling like he has let somebody down, as he's on his knees crying in front of that very person. With soon, Izuku and Rin both step up, with both of them saying, "I'll do it," with Rin soon adding to his saying, "Whatever class 7 has for me, I'm game," with then Izuku saying, "I've come this far. I won't be backing down anytime soon, that's for sure." With then, both boys look at each other, with then Rin saying, "So, you're with me? You're with this too?" But then Izuku getting a little bit nervous, saying, yeah, but still, I won't be backing down." With then Alyssa screaming out, "Wait, what?" With then Elliot also adding his opinion too, saying, "Just like that, you two?" With soon Sarah saying, "So, you two are the first ones. Any particular reason why you two won't leave class 7? With Izuku thinking for his reason, Rin just says his, saying, "Not really. I would just feel bad since I put my family out so I can come to this school after all. If I get more chances at the school, I'll show off on more on all the hard work and paid off that they gave me here." With then Izuku saying, "I'm originally from Crossbell after all, so it was a long travel here. And besides, I feel like this is where I need to belong. At least for now, that's what I think." With soon Sarah saying, "One with a noble sentiment and one who's trying to find his way in life. You don't see that every day." With then Laura and Gaius stepping up too, with Laura wanting to improve and hone her sword skills of her family name, and Gaius not wanting to, just like Izuku, not wanting to waste the opportunity after coming so far from his homeland being the Nord Highlands. With Sarah somewhat excited seeing the strongest first year of Thor's basically on board, and the second exchange student to Izuku is also in Thor's as well, in class 7 as well. With then both Emma and Elliot also stepping up too, with Emma wanting to repay the school's generosity after getting into the school by scholarship after all, and feeling like it's her obligation to be part of class 7. With then Elliot also doing so, nervously, feeling like, even though he feels like he can't contribute in combat that much, but he still wants to be part of class 7, given that he believes he can get along with everybody here. With Sarah also excited, given that both orbital staff test users are being part of class 7, but given that their weapons are still in the prototype stage, just like the Arcuses, they're going to have to give out reports alongside their regular schoolwork as well. With then hearing that, Elliot saying, "Maybe I spoke too soon." With then Izuku trying to comfort his red-haired friend, saying, "Don't worry, Elliot. If you like, I could help you out with your reports too. So it'd make it easier on you." But saying, "You're a lifesaver, Izuku." With then hearing another voice, as it being from Alyssa, saying, "I'm in too." If then Sarah was actually caught off guard with Alyssa, believing that since she's basically like the rebel type after all, that she would basically opt out on principle. At first, Alyssa was a little bit annoyed, given that they're basically being tested for these Arcus units. However, if she lets every little nitpick basically get on her nerves, she wouldn't amount to anything. So she's staying in class 7, right here and now. With Sarah saying, "All right, that's 7 of class 7." as she couldn't help but laugh at her own self-joke pun, with saying, "So who's up next? What about you, Fee?" Within looking at the silver-haired girl, with soon Fee saying, don't really care either way. You can choose for me if you want, Sarah. With then Sarah saying, no, not happening this time. This is one decision you're gonna have to make on your own. Like I said, you have to you have to be in charge of your own life. With then Fee getting annoyed at this, saying, okay, fine, I'm in. With soon walking up forward just like everyone else. With however, the others who stepped up have that sweat drops down their face. With then Sarah saying, well, at least you're committed. With then Sarah saying, so that makes the grade 8. So what about you two? As she soon looks at Eustace and Machias. With both Machias and Eustace are somewhat, well, on the fence about this. With Sarah trying her best to, well, convince them to join and try to get over their differences and all that. With even saying that if they can get along, they can become the best of friends. With soon Machias basically blows up. Like the hell that would work? The nobles basically abusing the common people's well-meaning of life is basically the greatest blight on Erebonian history. Unless this shit is basically taken care of and done about it, this country has no damn future. With Sarah soon saying, yeah, I get your, well, enthusiasm and somewhat passion behind it, but lecturing me about this isn't going to help. With then Izuku basically commenting saying, yeah, I don't think he was trying to lecture you, instructor. I think he was just blowing off some steam. With then Eustace begins walking up and saying, well, this makes it easier on me. I, Eustace Alborea, will become a member of Class 7, with everybody in the class being somewhat surprised, even Izuku as well. With then Machias actually getting somewhat shocked and somewhat annoyed as well, thinking that why the hell would he be in a classroom full of commoners? That it would also make him sick and all that. With even Eustace basically saying, I would politely ask you to say on how I'm supposed to feel, because I'm the only one who decides that. As for me being part of Class 7, to me, in this class, being a commoner or a noble is little difference to me. Also, if I stay in the classroom, I won't have to deal with people trying to win my favor if I was in Class 1 or 2. With then Eustace adding, saying, with that said, I also have no interest in being part of your petty arguments with you on a daily basis. I think it's best if we go our separate ways after this is all done. I think that you and I can agree on that, surely not. With Machias getting even more annoyed, saying, I don't need some pompous ass who basically walked around on his father's coattails to tell me on what to do. With Machias soon saying, I'm in, come hell or high water. And I'm not going, just letting you know, all the successes that you had before were all spoon-fed to you. You're not going to get any further from an outdated class system anymore. With then Eustace having that of a smug smile on his face saying, we'll see about that. Regnance. With Machias getting annoyed as you could feel the sparks flying between the two. With everybody else in Class 7 having that of sweat drops. With then Reen and Alyssa basically talking with each other. With Reen saying, I don't think that those two are going to be seeing eye to eye anytime soon. With then Alyssa saying, I agree on that. It would be surprising if they did. And with soon Alyssa realizing that she was talking to Reen, as she soon basically, turns her head around. Not even giving, Reen any chance. With soon Reen saying, "Aww." With then Izuku comforting his, black-haired, navy-haired blue friend, putting his hand on his left shoulder, saying, there, everything's gonna be fine, man. Trust me. I mean, we both were kind of in the same situation, if you think about it. With soon, Reed saying, yeah, but Laura didn't end up slapping you, and she doesn't seem like she holds a grudge over you. Saying, what makes you think she doesn't? She may just keeping it in after all. With then soon Elliot saying, I doubt that. As for you, Reen, I think the pot shouldn't be too, well, hot on the kennels after all. As Elliot tries to soothe his friend, with then Reen saying, give me a break, man. With then Sarah saying, well, if you look at that, 10 out of 10. With soon Sarah, and that's of great joy, saying, I like to officially say congratulations on being Thor's first Class 7. With then she adding on saying, I hope you guys keep on having those high spirits all year, because with the workload that you're going to be getting, you're definitely going to need it. With then Izuku internally thinking, oh man, she's saying that. What the hell are we going to get ourselves into? But even so, no turning back now. And I refuse to turn back anyway. With Izuku having that of a determined look on his face. As Sarah noticed this, and actually couldn't help but smile at Izuku. With two figures up on top of the staircase. As one being the principal of Thor's, Principal Van Dyke, and a mysterious individual, as he has that of a red coat and that of a bob cut hair, but it's tied up into that of a ponytail. With the principal couldn't help but comment saying, haha, look at this Class 7. I knew it was going to be quite diverse, but not to this much. This is going to be quite the interesting year. With soon, the other man could up and say, haha, took the words right out of my mouth. Within him actually adding on, saying, but maybe this is the divine providence of the goddess possibly at work. With the principal saying, how do you mean? Within, looking at the blonde-haired man, he's actually quite handsome and has a bit of elegance and nobility to him. With saying, because I believe they are the possible light that we all have sought for this country. The light that can break through the storm clouds that continue to linger over this country, over our dear nation, day by day. However, all we can do is wait and see. Then Principal Van Dyke saying, I guess that's all we can do for now. Within the two leaving the old school building. With that, everyone else begins to exit out of the, well, underground catacombs of the old schoolhouse as well, as it's soon now reached that of the evening, as the sun begins to set in its red hue. Within, Maki saying, seriously? We've been out here for that damn long? With then you think, if it wasn't for that last fight, I would say that this was completely and utterly useless. With then the two basically separating from each other, with then walking off on their own. Within Laura, Emma, and Alyssa began walking together, saying, I guess we should all, Alyssa, Emma, since we all stick together during our training exercise, why don't we all walk together? I would love to get to know you girls even more. With then Emma saying, that would be lovely, actually. What about you, Alyssa? With then Alyssa looking back at Reen, with soon she's scoffing, saying, I would love to, actually. With then the three girls walking off. As for Fee, she walking off on her own, not even bothering talking or anything like that. With soon Reen saying, well, I guess it's just us, right, guys? With then Elliot saying, yeah, I guess we can all talk to each other on the way there. With then guys saying, I wouldn't mind wanting to get to know you all more. After all, none of us did get the chance to, well, get to know each other even more than we did before, given we were all mostly trying to fight for our lives and getting out of there. With Izuku saying, I think I would prefer us basically talking it over maybe some coffee and some sweets, possibly. With then Reem saying, yeah, that would be great. With soon they begin walking off, as then Sarah also wanting to see this class saying, well, that's quite, I didn't think I would get this quite the interesting class. I think I'm gonna have one hell of an interesting year. With soon looking straight at Izuku, she could up and say, you know, I think Angelica was actually kind of right. He does look like a little bunny rabbit, and it's kind of cute, to be honest. With soon Sarah actually walking off with that of Class 7 as well, as this puts an end to that of the first day for the formation of Thor's Military Academy's 6th class, otherwise known as Class 7. But it isn't just about Class 7. This was the beginning, the start of how Izuku Midoriya became one of the world's greatest heroes in all of Zemuria. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to read them. So, and that's finally the end of the prologue chapter. So, what'd you guys think? I mean, this one was pretty accurate on to one spot after another, especially the dialogue only added some certain changes with putting Izuku in the story after all, so there's that. Also, some more changes will be happening as the story goes on. Not only that, we won't be focusing on Reen's point of view in this story. We'll be mostly focusing on Izuku's point of view. I may switch the point of view around from time to time, but other than that, it's mostly on Izuku. So yeah. Also, if you guys remember, when I put up that poll about a couple months back, I said on who should I choose for Izuku's main love interest to be in this story, and you all chose that of Sarah. So yeah, Sarah is going to be Izuku's main love interest in this story. So if you think that student-teacher's relationship is kind of bad, then those who have played Trails of Cold Steel know about the relationship between Reen and Sarah. So yeah, I don't want to hear it. As for what I said in the beginning, like I said, throughout the entirety of November, I'll be mostly posting more chapters of this story, so we can move on. But I'm still going to be playing the game and taking certain changes and all that. The reason it took so long is because I also needed to incorporate at least some, side stories into the story as well, besides just focusing on the main story. So if you guys can accept that, hope you guys can understand. And you're right. With all that said, if you guys like this, hit that like button. Also, subscribe, hit the bell notification to keep up to date with my videos when I upload. Also, check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my main channel, and my Patreon. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Yamuki signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care. Later.